You know what? It's past time for you to get paid to be you. YouTube is paying people to be themselves, and we are here for it. I know you've seen them all, the Dante Londons, the Dodash, and all of the other small and emerging content creators out here in these YouTube streets showing up, showing off, and showing their YouTube, Google AdSense paychecks. And we are here trying to get us some. That's what we're trying to do in this season of our lives. Now, in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you 3 tips from the mogul, Rick Rubin. Do you remember Rick Rubin? Maybe you don't remember Rick Rubin, but I know you remember Run DMC. I remember Run DMC. I'm an old school Gen Xer, and I love myself some old school rap every now and then. Rick Rubin was the man behind the brand of Run DMC. Well, no, we're not going to be talking about my Adidas, but we are going to be talking about our YouTube channels and our brands on this video and how we can use our creative genius not only to get some more views and to grow our channels, but to grow ourselves into the brand that we desire in 2025. I remember the song Walk This Way. It was groundbreaking, it was trend setting, and everybody was trying to copy it. Rick Rubin was able to use his creative genius to merge 2 genres of music together, rap and rock. A lot of people tried to copy him. He was a trendsetter. But you know what the main thing that Rick Rubin was? He was a creative genius. He was authentic. He was able to bring out the authenticity of all of his creators that worked with him. He was one of the greatest producers in the rap scene. And guess what? Rick didn't look like most of them. He actually looked like Albert Einstein. He probably had a lot of creative things that were going on. He didn't care about what he looked like. He didn't care about how he came across. What mattered most to him was making sure that he brought out the best in his creators. A lot of creators are quitting, they're burning out. And I think the reason why that's happening is because maybe they were trying to be something that they were not. I know I had a hard time in the beginning of my journey. I had a hard time finding my voice, finding my rhythm and my style, yet alone a niche. It was kind of like I was lost for a few months. But then after a few months, I began to get my groove. I was like Stella got her groove back. You remember that movie? I no longer felt lost. I felt secure in the way that I would bring my content forward. And I felt good about just being me. And I knew if I could just be me and I could translate what it meant to be me, my funny self, my smart self, my intelligent self, my quirky self, I knew that my viewers would find me eventually. I knew that I could let go of trying to mimic the big creators. I didn't have to act like I was a mogul. I didn't have to act like I was an expert or anything, because I just had to show up and teach you guys what I knew along the way. That took a lot of the pressure off. I felt very comfortable about being here on YouTube. Now I have a question for you. Does that sound like you? Does that sound familiar? Are you getting burnt out because you haven't found your voice? You haven't found your value? You think you don't have value and you haven't found your way or your rhythm or your groove? I have a solution for that. Guess what the solution is? Keep creating. Eventually, as you get comfortable being on the camera, being in front of an audience, which is like an audience of one because it's just you and your camera, until you broadcast and realize that you have people watching you. You are here for more than just you. You're here for others. In Rick Rubin's book, that's what he talks about. Letting your creative genius touch the world. It's not about you. It's about all the people that are waiting for your creative genius to come forward. If you continue to shrink back or try to morph into someone else, no one will be able to see the creative genius that's called you. You know what the dangerous part of that being here on YouTube is? That the viewers, the audience, the people, you out there, you guys can smell a fake from a mile away. I know you guys see it all the time on YouTube. You're in like 5 seconds and you realize, okay, this person's being just like another person, or their message is just like the video that you've already watched before. And what do? You swipe away. It gives all the other content creators a bad rap, because then people won't want to watch YouTube if all they see is a copycat of another person on another channel doing the same thing. My suggestion for us is to show up and be us, and be authentic and be our brilliant and beautiful or handsome selves. Before we continue in the video, if you like what you see, please leave me a like. It gives me encouragement to come on and create more videos like this for you. It helps me to stay motivated to make more content like this, and it helps the algorithm to understand that you like content like this. So if you're led, hit that like button, subscribe, connect with some other people down in the comments. Let's continue to grow this community the community that we call the Revealers, into something that we all can be proud about. All right, so let's get into the 3 tips. The ABC method to being yourself and to growing on YouTube, or just to growing your brand. I try to make it something easy that we can remember, because thanks to TikToks, we have no more memory capacity. Okay. Authenticity. I'm going to encourage us as we continue to create content is to lean into who we are, really and truly. Our quirks, our imperfections, our humor, our talent, our unique skills, all those things are what make you you and what make you different. The Bible says we are fearfully and wonderfully made, which means no 2 people are alike. Everyone is different. I want you to add your own little spin to your niche. Like me, I'm wearing yellow. It's part of my brand. But brand goes beyond color. Everything that you see about my channel, how I talk, the pacing of my videos, the quirkiness of my videos, when I leave humor in my videos, all of that is a part of my brand. It's a part of my uniqueness. That shows you my personality. It lets you into who I really am. You've heard me say it a bunch of times before. Consistency. Now, let me tell you something. YouTube rewards those who rewards the platform. You can't be all over here in these YouTube streets expecting YouTube to understand and know who you are, whatever you decide to show up on a platform. It doesn't work like that. So those who show up, glow up on YouTube. Our job is to not worry about all the numbers and all the analytics all the time. You do have to look at them sometime, but not all the time. Back in August, September timeframe, I found myself getting a little depressed and a little worried and a little stressed out. It seemed as if I was more concerned about the analytics than I was about actually making the content. So what I decided to do was put myself on restriction. I would only look at the analytics 1 to 2 times per week, and then I would just continue my content strategy, which was long form video on Tuesday, long form video on Thursday, and then I would sprinkle in at least 3 shorts, and then honey, I would just keep it moving. I stopped worrying about all the numbers and I started creating better content. When I say better content, is it going to be perfect? Absolutely not. After every video, I sit down and I take notes and I look at things where I could get better. And as long as I'm making progress, that's all that counts, because we all know that progress is better than perfection. I remember that song, Perfect Imperfections. It's kind of like that when it comes to content creation. We have to be open to creating the best content that we can every time that we upload. So let's break it down. You don't need to copy, you don't need to trend jack, you don't need to mimic, and you don't need to be someone that you're not. Just get perfect at being you. Be authentic, be bold, and be consistent. When you focus on these things, YouTube will reward you, your audience will show up for you, and your channel will begin to grow.